Welcome to How to Live in Japan channel. In this video, I will show you how you can rent a room in Japan for a cheaper cost. Before making this video, I watched some videos of foreigners about how to rent an apartment in Japan. But some of them just got ripped off. Watch this video to the end so you don't waste your money. Choosing a real estate company is very important. First of all, the first thing to know is that over 91% of rental properties in Japan can be rented from any real estate company. In Japan, there is a site called Rainzu. It can only be viewed by a real estate company, which handles almost all rental properties. In other words, the rooms that you want your real estate agent to introduce or the other rooms listed on the internet can be rented from any real estate company. Depending on your real estate agent you sign a contract with, your initial cost or what they call the shoki hyo may be 50,000 yen cheaper. So, you need to be wise in choosing your real estate agent. So why does the initial cost make a big difference? When you make a rental contract with a landlord, the real estate company acts as the middleman. Real estate companies add a variety of their own options to the initial cost to make a big profit. So be sure to get a quote for the initial cost from 3 or more companies. You can inquire about the quotation online, or if it is difficult, you can actually go to the real estate company and have it issued. At this time, you may be asked to make a provisional application, but please don't do that. You will not be able to apply from other real estate company. If you go to the second and third real estate company for quotation, never tell them that you have already seen the same room with another real estate company. This is because there is a possibility that the company staff would not work hard. And there are also what we call dedicated properties. I said that most properties can be rented anywhere, but sometimes there are properties that are only available at a certain real estate company. I do not recommend these properties because most of these real estate companies are bullish and the rent and initial cost are too high and it's usually unnegotiable. Decline the options that you don't need. These are the typical initial cost. I will try to explain one by one. First off is the brokerage fee. This is a fee for mediating the contract between the landlord and the renter. By law, the maximum brokerage fee that they can get from you is set at half of your monthly rent. But sometimes, the real estate company will ask your consent to get a full month worth of brokerage fee. If you notice that your brokerage fee is more than half of your rent, then you should surely ask them to make it cheaper. By the way, the brokerage fee does not include the common service fee. For example, suppose the rent is 40,000 yen and the common service fee is 5,000 yen. In this case, you will have to pay only 20,000 yen, which is half of your rent. Don't include the 5,000 yen when you calculate. Next is rent. You will be asked to pay the rent 1 to 3 months in advance when you sign up for the room. If the advance payment is 3 months, you can try to negotiate and ask them that you only pay 2 months worth. Also, negotiate the monthly rent. Realistically, you can have your money rent cheaper, up to 3,000 yen, or you can ask them to make the first month rent for free. At this time, you need to show your real estate agent, I will rent this room if you make this and this cheaper rather than I will think about it if you make it cheaper. You have higher chance to succeed the negotiation in this case. If the person in charge does not negotiate with the landlord, you may want to change the person in charge or the real estate company. This is because the landlord, not the real estate company, decides the number. Also, be careful and do not treat the staff arrogantly, but try to treat them gently. If they get a bad impression of you, it will be difficult to ask them to negotiate rent for you. The difficult time for rent negotiations is February and March. This is because many people move in this season due to transfer of work or university admission. On the contrary, it is easy to negotiate in April. Since the number of people moving is reduced, landlords tend to make it cheaper to reduce vacant rooms. Next is the security deposit. It's for rent delinquency and repair cost in case of room damage. If it costs 3 months, it may be possible to ask the company to make it 2 months only. Try to negotiate. Next is the gratitude money. It's an old custom. You give your money to your landlord as a thank you for renting the room. Recently, the number of properties that require gratitude money is decreasing. But if the landlord thinks he can find a renter even with a high initial cost, gratitude money is usually set. You can negotiate to make it half month worth if they ask you to pay 2 months. And be cautious as there are cases where the real estate company cheats on the amount set by the landlord. Make sure to get quotes from several real estate companies and compare them. Next is administrative fee, or the document preparation fee. As introduced in the brokerage fee, the only fee that a real estate company can take is a half-month rent. Some real estate companies may charge these fees in addition to the brokerage fees. However, it is stipulated by law, so please point it out and have it removed. But it is legal if all fees are combined for half-month of your rent. Next is the guarantor company. The guarantor company pays the rent to the landlord on behalf of the resident when the rent cannot be paid for some reason. This money is the money you have to pay to the guarantor company. The market price is 50% to 80%. Occasionally, the real estate company secretly increases the amount, so be careful and try to ask for the guarantor's pamphlet along with the quote. Next is the pest control cost. It is the cost to exterminate and prevent cockroaches and mites. This cost is always charged at the initial cost regardless of any real estate company, but you can decline it. And I think you should decline it. The actual content is to spray insecticides. It doesn't really matter, and sometimes people pay but the company will not spray the insecticide. It's a waste of money, and if you really want to spray it, you should use the one sold at drugstores for less than 1,000 yen. Next is indoor disinfection or antibacterial. You can decline this. This is also just a deodorant spray. Many real estate agents do nothing in reality. It doesn't do as much as pest control. Try to decline if you can. Next is house cleaning. There are 2 patterns of billing, before moving in and after moving out. Before moving in, look at the room and decline if it is clean. In recent years, there may be a clean tag placed at the time of viewing. In this case, you won't be able to refuse when they ask you of the cleaning fee. After moving out, the Japanese government guidelines state that it is appropriate for the landlord to bear the cleaning cost. However, there are cases where it is stated as a special contract that a cleaning fee of 30,000 yen will be paid when moving out. If possible, negotiate and have them removed. Next is fire insurance. The landlord requires the renter to pay for fire insurance, and it is a must. However, the insurance introduced by real estate companies is usually expensive, and most of them cost 10,000 to 20,000 yen a year. And the reason is that the real estate agent has a referral fee. It would be nice if you could make a contract with the insurance you chose at the time of contract, but it is also a difficult item to negotiate. However, you can cancel the insurance after the contract and make a cheap contract yourself. If you cancel the contract, the money will be returned on a daily basis, and you can try to make a contract with a cheaper insurance with the returned money. You can apply online for about 4,000 yen. Next is key replacement cost. The market price for the key exchange cost is 10,000 yen to 15,000 yen for ordinary keys, and a special key will cost about 40,000 yen at the highest. An effective way to reduce the cost of key replacement is to tell them that you don't need to replace the key. There are a certain number of Japanese who refuse, and if you don't really care about security, you can try it. Finally, the initial cost will vary depending on whether you know the content of this video or not. Negotiations are difficult, so please do your best. It is important to note when negotiating that arrogant and bossy attitudes are strictly discouraged. The reason is that it is the real estate company that negotiates rent with the landlord. You cannot negotiate directly with the landlord. If a real estate agent loses motivation, then they wouldn't do their best in rent negotiations. The motivation and passion of real estate companies is a major factor in rent negotiations. So, let's be careful. Also, if the real estate company thinks you are a very troublesome person, it may affect the move-in examination. So, it's a bargain. However, it is true that there are many unjustified claims in rental contracts, and the content you negotiate is to get the reasonable amount. So please try your very best. If you like this video, please subscribe to our channel and click the good button. Also, it would be helpful if you could share it with your friends on other social networking sites.